If you've ever had a problem with your eyeliner smudging, being too thick, or disappearing in your eye crease, girl, I got you. I'm going to teach you some things today that you probably know or you probably didn't know, but I'm going to teach you some tricks. So the first thing I'm going to teach you today is a skill, a technique that I have learned many years ago when I worked for Mercier, and it is called the tight line. I'm going to teach you that first. Then I'm also going to teach you, if that doesn't quite work for you, I'm going to teach you how to use your liquid liner, how to lay it properly across your lashes so that it gives your eye more definition. And then as a bonus, I'm going to teach you how to do this no cat eye look. It's not going to be the typical cat eyeliner, but I'm going to show you another way to achieve this cat eye look without actually using a pen or a pencil to do it. So if this interests you at all, keep watching and let's get this video started. So I have had the pleasure of doing makeup for 3 beauty lines. I worked for Neiman Marcus for 21 years. The very first line that I was assigned to be manager, beauty expert over was Versace. I was probably there for maybe 7 years. And then the second line that I worked for was Laura Mercier. I believe I was there for maybe 5 years. Honestly, I got to go back and look at my resume. But then the last beauty line that I worked for was Giorgio Armani. And I can honestly say with every beauty line that I've worked for, I have learned something new. There has been one line in particular that taught me this trick when it comes to eyeliner that I have never forgotten, because whenever I would show someone who sat in my chair this beauty trick of how to line your eyes, they were blown away. They were blown away. Like once they got it, they were like done. They were like sold. So this was a technique that we showed everybody because it was instant. It was instant results. And so I'm going to show you that today. So as I said, there's going to be 3 ways I'm going to teach you how to line your eyes, especially if you have a hooded eye or if you have a mature eye. Unfortunately, I'm in both categories. I was born with a hooded eye and now I am a mature woman. So the first technique that I learned was from Laura Mercier, and this is called the tight line. So the brush that we used and we showed everyone was called a flat eyeliner brush. That's it right there. Now, I know this brush look like it's been through the fire, but when I tell you it's a great brush, and they still make this brush today, and the fact that I still even have it, yep, it's kind of beat up, but listen, them bristles, they ain't coming out. It's still as flat as the day I bought it, and it is called a flat eyeliner brush. So this is the number 1 thing you're going to have in order to achieve this look. And then the next thing is going to be a liner that is either already in a cake, cream form, or something that you can create a paste with. So to be honest, I have not gone back to see if Laura Mercier still creates these, but this was called her cake eyeliner. And this is how it looked, just like that. And you would simply apply water, spray your brush with water, and then you would go back and forth into the liner until you created a pasty consistency. You would test it on your hand to make sure that it wasn't too watery, and then you will go into your eyeliner. So if they still make it, great, because I feel like it's awesome. It worked well. It did not move, but I'm sure liners have evolved since then. You don't necessarily have to wet it anymore. So the liner that I'm going to use today is this liner here. It's called Inglot. And if you know, you know, baby, you talk about you want a black liner. You want a liner that is waterproof and that is not going to move. This Inglot, every makeup artist has this Inglot in their kit. I guarantee you, because it's magical. It is the black of all blacks. But say you're not a black girl, you want brown. Then I also use this brown liner it's a cake liner by MAC. The name of this one is called Dip Down by MAC. This is also a good one. So you can do either one. This brown would honestly look good if I was doing someone with fairer skin, someone with lighter eyes, like a hazel eye, or even it would look best with someone with blue eyes. This brown liner close to that lash line is going to look remarkable. So for today, since I have dark eyes, and I know that most of you who are probably watching have dark eyes because that is a popular eye color, I'm going to use the black. And what this flat eyeliner, tight eyeliner technique is going to do is going to give you the illusion that your lashes are much thicker than they naturally are. And that's something that we all want. So what you're going to do is when you're home and you're going to have your mirror, say this is the mirror I'm using today, but say you have your mirror at home, right? You're going to be holding your mirror in your hand because this is all about the position of your head. If you're holding your mirror at a 90-degree angle, you are going to lift your head. You're not going to look down into it and then think you're going to do this liner. Oh, no, ma'am. Especially if you've got a hooded eye, you're never going to get up underneath there. So you're going to lift the chin. Remember to lift the chin, and you're going to look down into the mirror. And that's when you're going to apply this liner underneath your lash line. Now, if you're like, girl, I can't do that and do this, fine. They're doing makeup in their bathroom. And so you can do it the same way as well. So I'm going to bring my mirror a little bit closer. And so what you're going to do, if your mirror is straight in front of you like this, you're going to take your free hand. You're still going to tilt that head back. You're going to look down and you're going to take that free hand and you're going to lift with your ring finger, lift the eye, and then you're going to tap. Maybe about 4 taps, maybe a tap and a wiggle into that lash line. This is called a tight line. So that's how it's going to go. I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit closer so you can see how this is really done. And then you're going to compare, and I'm going to show you what a tight line eye looks like compared to the other and how it gives so much definition.
Okay, so let's get started. You are going to dip your flat eyeliner brush into your cake liner on both sides. You're going to lift up with your ring finger and you're going to press it at the lash line underneath your lashes. So that little press and wiggle, you're just getting it up in there. You're going to take it all the way across. And you're going to just take your time. If you need to pull away from it, adjust your eye and then go back to it because it can feel a little bit uncomfortable, but that's what you do. But remember, it's all in the tilting of the head back and then looking down with your eyes only and getting it right there at that lash line. So this is step 1. And as you can see, there's already a difference there. Very slight, very defined, very elegant. I think it looks great on anyone. And now you want to come back and do it on top. So I'm kind of pulling a little bit at my eye just so that I can get it very, very close to my lash line. You want to take your time with this. I was rushing and see, that's exactly what happened. I went up a little bit too high and guess what? Because it's so black, I did not want to start over. So take your time with it on top more than anything because you don't want the liner to be that full, but it still gave the look that I was looking for, which is a cleaner, fuller lash line.
So as you can see with this look, it's a very clean look. It is precise. It's definitely giving you, baby, lashes are thick. And all you have to do at this point is either add your false lash or add your mascara. But the look is undeniable. I mean, it looks like that I have thick lashes coming out of my roots. Now, of course, your lashes need to be extended, but this is the look that this tight line gives. So now the second look is going to be simply with a felt tip black liquid liner. This one is by NYX, and this is the one I'm going to use. And I like this as well because it's easy to apply when it's a felt tip pen. The black is nice. It dries down to a matte. It doesn't stay shiny. I particularly don't like a shiny looking liner. But this is for the person who feels like, you know what, I can't get all that. Fine. Then we're going to use this on top. And I'm just going to show you how to lay it going across the eye. Very similar to a brush, but this is for that person that doesn't want to brush. They just want a one step. And this is how you're going to get it. So let me bring you in closer for this.
So the same rule applies. You want to tilt the head back, but with your pen, you want to just lay it on your lash line. I think it's an easier way to get a very close application to your lash line. I think it also gives you a little bit more control on applying the eyeliner, and then you just take your time. And I think that's key. You need to take your time. When it comes to liner and the fact that it's black, y'all, you can't be rushing through it, because if you make a mistake, do you really have time to go back and take it all off and start over? So please take your time. With this, you're only going to apply it to your top lash line, and this too will give you a very clean, defined look to your lashes if you have a hooded eyelid, as I do, or mature eye. Put in the comments, which eyeliner look do you like best and can you see yourself doing?
So as you can see for this look, the same technique applies. If you're looking right into your mirror, you want to raise your chin. You want to take your pen and you want to lay it across. That's how you get a very close application to your lash line. There is no way you're going to get it like this. If you've got extra skin and if you are not 13 years old and your eyes are nice and tight, baby, it's not going to happen. Lift that chin, then lay that pen or pencil or brush across and take it just like that. So now we're going to move on to the very last one. Now, this is for my girls who want a cat eye. Though you have a hooded lid, you insist on having some form of a cat eye. So this is the simplest way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come off camera. I'm going to tight line underneath so that I kind of match the intensity of my lashes for this one. But I'm going to demonstrate on the cat eye. This is going to be key, very important that you follow these steps to make sure that you get the best possible look ever. Here we go. So you are going to achieve this soft cat eye look with the help of some shadows. Now, this is not an eyeshadow tutorial. This is all about how to line your eyes different ways if you have a hooded eye. But then this look here is specifically for the person that wants a cat eye and they're not really good at drawing the line and all of this. This is your cheat code, okay? So, okay, you're going to take some Scotch tape. You're going to pull off a little piece, right? You're going to lay it on the back of your hand. And why are we doing that? Well, because we don't want it super sticky going into this delicate part of your eye, right? So some of the oils from your hand will take away some of the stickiness. So it's going to go on much softer. It won't be so tight on the eye. But the reason we're using the tape is because the tape is going to help us cheat and create the shape that we want, because we don't have a steady hand to get that cat eye the way that we would normally do it. So that's why we're using this. So after you put that on there for a minute, go ahead and take it off. You're going to automatically see that there's a little bit of film underneath. And so you're going to place this and line it up with your lash line from underneath. Not at the top, but from underneath. So you're going to apply it just so, just like that. And if you notice, I'm doing all of this. I'm doing this part without my foundation and concealer on, because no, this will take away, if I had concealer on, it will take away some of my concealer. Then I have to go in and I have to touch it up and all of that. So I'm just like, no. When I want this cat eye, or even when I do a smoky eye, I do my eye work first, and then I go back and do foundation and concealer. So just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you what I'm using. I am using the Warrior 2 palette by Juvia's Place. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to start off with this color first. No, I'm going to start off with this color first. Then I'm going to move to this, and then I'm going to go anywhere between those two. So I'm always going to start off, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I always like that first color to be a color that's close to your skin tone, which is why I say sometimes just go ahead and use a bronzer slightly deeper than your skin tone. But if you're going to use a shadow, use one that's closest to your skin tone, because it's your transitional color. Now, what are the 3 brushes we're going to use for this? You're going to first use a fluffy eyeshadow brush for that first color. This is brush number MAC 224S. That's the brush you're going to use. That's the first one. The other brush you're going to use is something a little bit smaller. This is a Morphe M149 brush. Okay. And then the last brush you're going to use is it's a brush, but it's a slanted eyeliner brush. And this is also by Morphe. So these are the 3 brushes you're going to use to create this cat eye look. And for me, I'm going to say, most of you want this cat eyeliner look, you're going to be wearing some shadows. I know that probably the younger generation, before the millennials, whatever that generation is, but the younger generation, they may wear it, the cat. But remember, this is the cheat code, and this does require some shadow in order for you to still achieve this look. So I'm going to go in first with my fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into the lighter color. Okay. Always remember to tap off any excess, and you're just going to go back and forth. And if you get it on the tape, that's fine, because why? The tape is there to define the shape that you want and to make sure that you don't go over too far than where you want to go, okay? I'm tapping a little bit more because I want a little bit more intensity here. And I'm just going back and forth, definitely going over the tape, right? Now I'm going to use the next brush, the smaller brush, and I'm going to dip into the darker brown, okay? Now, tap off the excess. Now remember, we've got this extra skin, which is why it's called a hooded eye, right? So what you want to do, you always want to remember, if you're trying to get into any area of your eye, you're going to have to lift up that chin. So what I want you to do is to really pack that dark color right there in the corner. And the way I want you to pack it is going out at a slant, right? Because that is already creating that cat eye look that we desire. I'm going back in, getting a little bit more of this medium, deeper tone, and I'm just tapping it in at an angle, right? Then I'm going back with the fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna go back and forth just to kind of blend in, not on the lid. I'm going back in, tapping a little bit more, okay? And then I am blending it out, right? So you can already see that you're creating this lift, this cat eye effect, right? So you've got that first lighter color, and now you've got the darker color. And now, you guys, I just told a story. You're gonna need 4 brushes. So you're gonna get one that's slightly smaller, okay? And that's where deeper color is gonna come in. So we're gonna go into this one, tap out any excess. Then that one is gonna be the closest to the lash line, the closest. If it's not giving you the depth that you want, go ahead and dip into that black boo, okay? Go ahead. You're gonna concentrate this one right on the outer corner, and you're just depositing all of that color. Now I can see it, but it's not as much as I would like. So guess what? I'm going to go ahead and tap into this black. I'm tapping off the excess. And again, I'm tilting my head back, and I'm concentrating right there in that lower corner, outer corner. I'm taking it a little bit over that tape as well. And then the brush that I used prior I'm just blending it and softening it out. Again, you want to stop and just look and say, do I want a little bit more? Girl, if you want a little bit more dark, go ahead. You got your tape. It's protecting everything. Tap it a little bit more on that outer corner. Taking it a little bit over that tape. Keeping it at an angle. And then going back with the brush you just used and blending it out. Then you can go back with the bigger brush, not dipping it in any more eyeshadow, just blending it out. Okay, and at this point, it looks amazing. So just to reiterate, there are actually 4 brushes you're going to be using. You start off with this one, the fluffy one, then the middle brown tone will be that one, and then the darker shadow will be that one, and then I'll show you what to do with this one once the tape comes off. Okay, so now you're ready. You're like, okay, yeah. So you're going to peel the tape off, and voila. Do you cat? The cat. Now, of course, you're going to have, there's going to be some fall off. You're just going to take your tissue. You're going to take your cleanser, or whatever it is you have, and wipe that off. But now you see how beautiful lifted that is. Okay. And then from this point on, you can go ahead and finish your makeup, because we are going to do a little lining underneath. I want to make sure that your concealer and foundation is in place before we finish that part. So I'm going to quickly do this. And the foundation I'm going to be using today is the foundation I'm going to be using today is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. And the color I'm using is 9.5. I'm using a damp beauty blender, and it's going to look a little red, but don't worry, I'm going to blend it out. I'm just going to do one side of my face, and then I'll go off camera and do the other side. I'm not taking it all the way up underneath. And then the concealer I'm using is the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer. And I'm using the color Warm Sand. And I'm going to be using these little wedges. Remember these, guys? These are still amazing to use. So what I would recommend you doing with this look is taking a little bit of that concealer, putting it on the back of your hand, taking the full size. So you're going to hold your wedge like this, and you're going to tap the edge of it into the concealer, just like that. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to start here first and just take it under, tap it all the way underneath. But here is where we're going to really clean up that cat eye. Place it there so that you have a very clean look. And then you could just take your beauty blender and tap it out. Now, after you clearly see how amazing, y'all see how that eye is lifted? Come on, 50, 60, 70-year-olds. This looks amazing. Girl, bye. Now, remember that last brush that I talked about? This is where you're going to put that last brush I talked about. This is where you're going to put the finishing touch on your eye look, your cat eye. So you're going to set that concealer as you normally would, right? Taking your brush, setting it. Then you're going to take that brush and you're going to take the middle tone. Remember the middle one? And you're going to just complete that eye look. So you're going to tap it in there, tap off any excess, and you're going to go from underneath. You already see that I naturally kind of line, like I already have liner on, but you're going to go ahead and complete that. And you're going to just take it, start from here, and you're going to tap it right underneath your lashes, just to complete that look. And if you want to really intensify it, then you would tap off and do the dark, the black, and do that right in the corner to connect with the black that you used on top. Remember? Then if you happen to kind of mistake, just go back in with your edge sponge and just tap it. And you're good. And then you want to finish off the look. You're tapping it and using your loose powder, just cleaning it up. Then you want to go in with your mascara. I'm going to use 2 mascaras. I'm going to use this Christian Dior because I'm going to just use my natural lash. This Christian Dior lash primer. I'm going to use that first. I love sometimes using a lash primer because it acts just like a regular primer would, like if you were painting something. It primes the lashes. It thickens them up so that you can have a much fuller, natural looking lash. Then I'm going to use the new Magic Extension MAC mascara in black. If you need to, raise your eyelid. Again, the same motion of lifting your face applies. I'm hitting those outer lashes first and then just build it up to the intensity that you want. And baby, there we are, the perfect cat eye. Now, when you're doing your mascara, you get a little bit on your lid, just let it dry and just come back to it 5 minutes later and just flick it off with a Q-tip, okay? That is your eye, guys. That is that cat eye that you've been longing to do, even though you have a hooded eye, okay? I'm gonna go ahead, finish my makeup, and then I'll come back on and let's wrap this up. So as you can see, I'm all balanced. I've got both eyes done and I've got a cat eye. So you guys, make sure you save this video. Make sure you go back to it because this last one, you will have to practice. But I think honestly, it's going to be easier for you to accomplish with shadow than just with a pencil or a liquid liner because it's just tricky. And I'm going to do a separate, probably a short video on that because it doesn't need to be a full long form video. But I think that this is actually going to be easier. And I did 3 shadows, but you really could accomplish it with 2 shadows. So which is that first transitional color and then just go straight into that dark color, that the black, if that's what you want to use. And that's your look. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me for this makeup tutorial. I hope that you learned something from it. The tight eye line, the just regular liner with a liquid liner on top, and then this cat eye using eyeshadows. And remember, the trick is always to lift and look down. That's how you're going to get this look. So if you like this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, girl, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and notifications. And I will see y'all in the next video. I have had a blast with this. I hope you learned a lot. See y'all later. Bye.